Welcome back to the channel. We are back out in the gun room today. We have got another thermal optic out for review. This is one of the RIX Storm S3 thermal rifle scope. So here is the product info. So Storm S3, UPC code, and product number. Take a look at the other side of the box. Display information talking about the controls and the sensitivity detector. So let's get this thing unboxed and see what we got here. Maybe. Come on, box. Tight fit. Okay, so there's the top. And we've got a warranty card. Please read before use. Always like to go through the information that is sent in with these optics, just so you can actually see what is legitimately in the box. Customer card, just giving some information on the company itself. Quick start guide. These are nice. Real quick, down and dirty instructions on getting your rifle scope ready to use. So that's pretty cool. Really condensed version of the functions on all of the buttons. So that's pretty cool there. And how to use the QD mount. So, a warranty card on that. And then they have a very nice user manual. So let's take a look at this. Now, let's do product features. So let's go ahead and go through all of these. So one of the best things that I think RIX does is they use the 18650 batteries. Really easy to get a hold of. They have these available on their website if you'd like to use their brand specific ones. I have some Samsung ones that I keep around for other optics and other uses, but those work just fine. Very, very nice that they don't use a built-in battery. So that way, if a battery goes bad, your unit is still functional. You just get a new battery, you're good to go. So good on them for that. High resolution, this is a 1024 display. It does have picture-in-picture, Wi-Fi module, weather mode, high image quality, 32 gig storage. So that's a fair amount of storage. Photo and video recording, so you're able to take still shots as well as video in the field. So we will definitely get that in this video as well. Now here is a breakdown of the different models. So they do have an S1, they have an S2, and then this is the S3. So the S3 does show a 384 by 288 resolution on the sensor. So that's pretty good. That's really good. Now, optical zoom, 3.5 to 14. So a fair amount of zoom. Digital zoom is 1 to 4. This does have a base mag of 3.5. So got some really good magnification there. Let's see, eye relief is about 48 millimeters. Give some information on the diopter. And then the detection range. So look at that detection range in yards. 1968. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't really have anywhere I can go out that far, but we'll definitely get some distance footage through this optic. Let's see what else we got here. All right. Standard Wi-Fi protocol. It is 1020 by 768 video. MP4 JPEG format. That's exactly what you want. A lot of times, some of these optics, they don't come with standard formatting on their video, audio, and picture files. So it's good to see that. A little less than a pound, and overall dimensions. Now, the cool thing about the RIX stuff is they're not overly large for no reason. They're fairly compact. They're totable. You can actually take the unit into the field. So here's what is in the box. So let's see. Of course, you get your scope, a dust cover. They give you 2 batteries for this one, so that's very nice. Charger. This does use a Type-C USB cable, lens cloth, and then some thermal targets. That's pretty cool. You use these for zeroing the optic. And take a look at the buttons. So it's pretty cool. They do give you a lens cap up front. I do like that. Standard menu, zoom up, image, correction, video down. Then that also doubles as your up, down, left, right. Your battery cap, battery compartment here on the side, and then your QD Picatinny mount. Let's see, over here we have the USB port, focusing ring on the front, diopter on the back, and then your power button, and then of course your eye shade. So pretty neat on that. And one thing I also like about RIX Optics is they're not overly busy with the functions. They give you the functions you want and not a whole lot of other nonsense to make it look like you're getting more for your money. What they give you is exactly what you need, and it's done very, very well. So here, knobs and operations for your buttons. So this goes down and gives you a rundown of all the different functions that each of those buttons carry. I really like that. It's a pretty easy and concise chart. I like charts. And gives you a status bar of all the different parameters in the scope. So weather mode, we have current magnification, so what mag range are you set at? We have your Wi-Fi, whether it's on or off, the clock, and then your battery life. All right, so let's take this thing out and see what we got here. So here is the unit, and man, that thing is very light. Wow, that doesn't weigh hardly nothing. Here, let's get this tape measure out here. So here's this. Now you can see, so we're looking, now this is with the eyepiece. With the eyepiece, it's around 8 inches in length, but honestly, the unit is about that long. So it's about 6.5 inches long, actually. Very, very compact unit. You could throw this thing on just your standard AR-15 carbine and be good to go. That would not weigh you down at all. I really like that. That's pretty sweet. All right, we got some boxes here with different accessories. So let's see what we got in here. Okay, there's our thermal targets. Some Allen keys. Here's our thermal targets. So very nice little add-on there. Cleaning cloth. Our two 18650 batteries. That's nice. We got our cover. Nice, very nice neoprene cover. And here is our Picatinny mount. So we definitely need that. And then the hardware to mount that. Because you could absolutely use this as a monocle. So just for scanning purposes, no question about it. You can throw that in a bag and be good to go in that way too. Or throw this on it, put your Picatinny mount on there, put it on your rifle, and you're ready to engage targets. You also get a throw lever for your ring up front. That's pretty nice. Very nice cap there. Very positive clicks. Maybe that one will actually stay closed. Most don't. So I do like that. A couple Allen keys. Pretty standard there. Let's see what we got. This is probably the charger, if I had to guess, in this other box here. Let's take a look. Very nice presentation on the packaging. I know, for me, that says something about the product. If they're willing to take time to actually pack the unit properly and make it aesthetically pleasing, that tells me that they've put some forethought into the product itself. But very nice dual charger. I like that. And then there is your USB cord as well. So let's get this mounted on a rifle. We're going to get some footage through it. I definitely want to see all the magnification levels. This does have various thermal outputs. So you can do white hot, black hot, multicolor, predator view. All the cool things that we've seen in the little handheld unit in my first video are going to be packed into this, but with increased resolution. So I cannot wait to see how much clearer this is as compared to that other one. So let me get this put together, mounted on a rifle. Meet you guys back at the hide. Okay, so we got our RIX S3 Storm mounted on a rifle back here at the hide. Go through some of the features and take a couple shots here. So here is the 110-yard backstop. As you can see, one of the little thermal targets right here. I put one on the steel target here. I can still see the steel target. It's probably radiating maybe some heat. I can still make it out, but obviously it's not as clear as the thermal target here, but you can still see it. Now, here is 7 power, and then there is 14, Again, this is 110 yards. I mean, you can clean up the 14 a little bit, but it's definitely most clear in base magnification because you can really get to see some detail on the ground as well as, you know, the trees and stuff like that. That is just wild. That is so cool. And down there is the 210 yard backstop, and the little thermal targets that they sent, I could not see them. So I ended up getting a hot hand and one of the chest warmers and taping it to one of the spinner targets down there, and I could see that. So I wished I had another one. I would have put it up here as well, but let's take a shot here. And again, I can still make out the target, but it's definitely not as easy without the thermal image, that's for sure. And let's see if we can hit the one back here. $110. So you could definitely make out the targets, no question about it. But I am not a hunter, so for me, it's kind of a moot point. But for those of you guys that are looking at this for a hunting application, I mean, you can make out some pretty small targets from pretty far away. You've got a lot of different like adjustability with the reticles. Let me get into the menu mode, and you've got a few different reticle choices. I hope this records the different choices, but there's 9 different ones, so I'll just kind of scroll through all of them here. There's just a basic little dot, and just a bunch of different ones, so you can really custom tailor to which particular application you want, and then you can change the different colors. So white, red, green. Here's the white. You can get your brightness and your contrast from the upper 2 buttons there. And zeroing, super easy. Get it into the zeroing mode and then use your X and Y buttons to kind of move the reticle to where your shots are. But pretty easily used. Let me get 14 power down there at the 210. So I mean, you can definitely see that thermal target down there now. That's for sure. It's really heating up. But let me get this back, and I'm going to put it back into monocle mode, and we'll take it around the property and see if we can get some longer shots, maybe further out, and see what we can find. Okay, so got the RIX S3 off the rifle and using it as a handheld here. I've got my daughter standing down at the end of the lane, which you can make her out no problem at all. And using it as a handheld is pretty cool. I mean, it's a very compact unit, so it's very easy to tote around. But here is we're using white hot. So from here to about where she's standing is about 450-ish yards, and we're on 3.5 base magnification, and it's just amazing to me how much clarity this thing packs for such a compact unit. I mean, you can still see the heat coming off of the transformers on the power lines, the foliage on the trees. It's just remarkable. But let's take a look. There is 7 power and there is 14, and you can clean it up a little bit when you get into the higher magnification, but it is a little grainy when you get into the higher magnification. But I mean, that's kind of to be expected. But now with the base mag, it's pretty darn clear, not gonna lie. You can definitely make out a silhouette, no problem at all. So for those of you guys looking to maybe patrol fence lines and things like that for predators, this would definitely fit that bill. Let's take a look at the different settings as far as the modes. So there is black hot, that's pretty cool. Very unmistakable there. Very clearly make out that silhouette down there. Here is red, predator mode, additional red, and then back to white. So definitely a capable unit.
Unfortunately, this is about the furthest distance I have as far as just a straight shot goes that's unobstructed. So, but nonetheless, I mean, you can definitely make out heat signatures, no problem at all. But let's take this back. We'll get it back on the bench and get some final thoughts.
All right, so testing complete on our RIX Storm S3, our thermal optic here. So what do we think about it? And I'm going to be honest, it is pretty darn nice. The clarity that this thing can render is pretty amazing. The technology that this stuff and that we have access to nowadays as shooters and gun enthusiasts is pretty remarkable, I'm not going to lie. And this one definitely holds true. That additional resolution, it's pretty wild. You know, I was at about 450-ish yards. That's unfortunately as far as I can get out where I'm at with a straight clear shot. And I mean, I had no problem at all making the wife's silhouette out and even detail associated with that. And you could even make out the foliage in the trees. I mean, it's pretty remarkable what these little units will do. And this thing, definitely one of my favorite aspects to this model is its compactness. I mean, it is so small. About 9.5 ounces. So take that QD mount off, and it's great for monocular use. Now, with that being said, you know, you kind of have to ask yourself what it is you're looking for with a unit like this. If you're just looking for scanning purposes, maybe one of the lower end models, one of the more budget friendly models they have might fit your use a little bit better. Nothing wrong with that. Or maybe you are into varmint hunting, hog hunting, things like that, where you need that increased resolution to make out those animal silhouettes that might be a little bit smaller, 400, 500, 600, 700, maybe even 800 yards. I don't think you're going to be varmint hunting out that far, but it is definitely fun to kind of look out and see what you might be having across the field. If you got a farm or something like that, one of these would be amazing for keeping coyotes at bay. You know, 300 or 400 yards, no problem at all on the right rifle. One cool little feature, the front cap here. So it springs open, and then it's got some retention there, kind of keeps it in place so it doesn't flop around if you have this unit out in the field. I really like that. The addition of the QD mount, so it's easy to remove. You can take it on, take it off. The battery compartment here, I like the fact that it's captured. You can unscrew this in the field, switch out batteries if you need to, and you don't have to worry about losing your cap. Now, I did leave this on with a fully charged battery, one of the ones that come with it, so one of their RIX branded batteries, and it stayed on for about 6 hours. So just to kind of give you an idea, that was at minimal magnification, and that was on white hot mode. And I just left it and let it set in the house. So it lasted about 6 hours. You know, kind of take that with a grain of salt. Your mileage may vary with that, but really cool features. The thing that really gets me about RIX products is that they're easily adjustable. They're easy to interface with. They don't put a lot of nonsense into their technology as far as using it. It's really user friendly. So you don't have a lot of stuff that you got to sift through to get to the features that you want. Zeroing is super easy. So they kind of go through here. You basically just menu into a secondary menu setting, and then you hit the freeze button here, and then you start moving your X and Y axis around. So you take a shot, and wherever you hit, you want to move your crosshairs, that dot, to wherever you hit, then hit your menu button again, and then it'll save it. And that's literally all you got to do. Very, very easily done. It does have recoil activation. So if you're in the middle of a hunt and you don't have it recording, you put your gun up, an animal comes in really quick or something, you take that quick shot, it's automatically going to start recording for you. You don't even have to remember to push the button. That's pretty sweet, especially if you're into like sharing videos and things like that of your hunts. So a lot of cool features that you could really get some great use out of. Their tables and shortcuts and stuff are well done in the manual, so it's easy to follow along with. They give you 2 really nice batteries, and they come in these pretty cool cases, so you could take one in the field and not have to worry about moisture directly getting onto it. They're not waterproof, but would definitely help keeping them protected if they were to come into contact with maybe some light rain or something like that. So really good addition there. I like the eyepiece, definitely keeps outside glare and stuff. or other distractions away from you if you're in the scope in a shooting situation. But now, kind of the downside of this unit, it is a little bit pricey. So you're looking at around a little less than $2K for this unit. So you just got to kind of, weigh the pros and the cons. Is this something that you think that you need as far as this particular resolution? If not, maybe one of the S1 or S2 models might be a better fit for you. But I will leave that decision up to you guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this one. Really, really nice unit. But please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help the channel. As always, shoot straight. Later.